Friday, it's First Shift. I'm Jennifer Bong. Diversifying dummies. We'll explain later on. But first, a look at your headlines. We'll begin with an update on striking UAW members voting on that tentative contract with General Motors. Automotive News counts another 10 locals that reported results on Thursday evening, including Local 2250 that represents Wentzville Assembly in Missouri. 63.5% of production workers and 69.9% of skilled trades workers there approved the deal. The local has nearly 4,000 members. Smaller locals at Detroit Hamtramck Assembly, in Flint and Romulus, Michigan, and Marion, Indiana also voted in favor. Workers in Lordstown, Ohio, Bedford, Indiana, Buffalo, New York, and Lansing and Burton, Michigan voted against. According to an unofficial tally by Automotive News, a solid majority of members have supported passage of the contract so far, but several large locals have yet to weigh in. Those include the biggest in the nation, Local 276 in Arlington Assembly in Texas. A simple majority is needed for the deal to be ratified. Voting concludes today. To track the results, stay with Autonews.com. A proposal from Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer would offer vouchers to spur the purchase of electric vehicles. The plan would give buyers thousands of dollars to trade in older gasoline-powered vehicles for U.S.-built electric, hybrid, or hydrogen fuel cell ones. Buyers would get rebates ranging from $3,000 to $5,000 or more. The older vehicles would be scrapped. The 10-year program, aimed at combating climate change, has a $454 billion price tag. The proposal would also set aside $45 billion for EV charging stations and $17 billion for incentives for automakers to build new factories or retool existing ones. Meantime, Ford teasing what it calls a Mustang-inspired all-electric SUV. The automaker says it will unveil the vehicle on November 17th.
Receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom really is something special, and to me it means more than any business success or motorsports trophy.
And that's racing icon and automotive retail leader Roger Penske receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom on Thursday. President Donald Trump presented the CEO of Penske Automotive Group with the nation's top civilian honor in the Oval Office. In 1973, crash test dummies became a mandated part of U.S. safety standards for the first time. But according to Consumer Reports, most of the dummies used in crash tests by the government and the insurance industry today still represent a very specific man, and that is a 171-pound, 5'9" male. Those measurements were first standardized in the 1970s for a so-called 50th percentile male dummy. CR says this male-focused testing puts female drivers at risk. In a recent report, CR says there is currently no physical crash test dummy that represents an average adult female anywhere in the world. A 5th percentile female, however, is used in some tests. That dummy represents a more petite person. So why the lack of progress? According to Consumer Reports, some industry experts say developing new dummies and tests is unnecessary or too expensive, or would take too much time. Meantime, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration tells CR that the use of the 50th percentile male and 5th percentile female represents, quote, a broad spectrum of occupant crash protection rather than merely focusing on median body types. The Auto Alliance, a trade group that represents many major automakers in the U.S., tells CR that a 50th percentile female dummy would not be useful. That's because the average American female today is actually closer in height and weight to the current 50th percentile male dummy. But CR says the industry is addressing inequality in the short term. One way, developing virtual crash testing software that can simulate how various human body types react in a crash. Volvo, for example, has developed a digital dummy that represents a woman in a late stage of her pregnancy. That wraps up this week's First Shift. Have a safe and happy weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.